Hola y gracias por volar en la aerolínea aérea de Phil Hendrie. Estaremos volando a una altitud de 30,000 pies. Oh, y también Green Card.
98686. Say, would you like to get a copy of our Best Of CD? You can do it by logging on to philhendrieshow.com and ordering it online. It's only $23.50 online. That's $3.50 shipping and handling, $20 for the CD. All of the proceeds go to my friend's place, a resource center for homeless and runaway kids in Hollywood. We've been doing this for 3 years now with my friend's place. This year, we've made $40,000 so far with our online sales and our personal appearances. In about a week and a half, we're going to have another Los Angeles area personal appearance somewhere out in the San Gabriel Valley. I'm told, I don't know. So that'll be probably a week from Saturday. Don't quote me on it yet. And again, if you'd like to order it online, you can do that. Friday night, we're going to have our radiothon. So we'll be selling it. Special 800 number will be given out, and you can call and order it over the phone this coming Friday night. 1-800-449-8686. A Texas businessman was ordered held without bond today on charges he conspired to arrange the 1997 slaying of his ex-wife in Florida, whose quadruplet toddlers were later found crawling through her blood. Imagine the viciousness of a crime like that. Alan Blackthorne entered no plea today in his appearance before U.S. Magistrate Pam Matthey, who ordered Blackthorne held pending a hearing next Wednesday. This is gruesome. Blackthorne could be sentenced to death if convicted of conspiracy to use interstate commerce in a murder for hire, or to life in prison on a charge of interstate domestic violence. The charges were contained in an indictment returned Tuesday by a federal grand jury and unsealed today at a hearing. Blackthorne was indicted by a federal grand jury on Tuesday. Now listen to this. He was taken into custody after finishing a round of golf at the Oak Hills Country Club, said his lawyer, Richard Lubin. Lubin said Blackthorne looked forward to the chance to prove his innocence. And the attorney went on to say this is a terrible tragedy that has happened here, but Alan Blackthorne had nothing to do with it. He's been living under a cloud for 2 years while various prosecutors and authorities have been looking at him. Now, immediately what jumped out at me about this story was you heard the exclamatory inflection in my voice when I said that he was taken into custody after finishing a round of golf at the Oak Hills Country Club. Vernon Dozier is a retired police inspector, lives here in Los Angeles County, and is on our newsmaker line. Vernon, how are you this evening, sir?
I'm very good, Phil.
All right. Did you hear what I just read?
Yeah, I did, Phil, and it's important to recognize that this is a private club. And we obviously, as law enforcement officers, have a subpoena, but you have to think about the fact that this is a private club that is under the direction of the USGA.
Now, hold on for a second, Vernon. This guy was taken into custody after finishing a round of golf at the Oak Hills Country Club. Is it possible that the officers arrived coincidental to him finishing the round of golf? Or are they not allowed to go onto the course and make the arrest?
I don't know the circumstances of this particular arrest. I cannot comment. I can tell you that as a retired police inspector, I know what I had to deal with and what we had to deal with in the course of law enforcement, and that is that you have a private golf club. My understanding is this Oak Hills Country Club is a private club. It is under the direction of the USGA. Many of the members there are attorneys, and these officers obviously are mindful of that. And
what are the officers mindful of? So you're saying that they're at a private golf course, and they know that many of the members of the golf course are attorneys of the golf club?
That is correct, yes.
And so what are they mindful of?
Well, they're obviously mindful of the fact that if they misstep, they've got how many lawyers looking at them, and that could be a problem. Now, if they arrested him before his round was complete, he could not submit. There are a lot of different problems involved. If you arrest a man on a private golf course, a private golf club, I should say, before his round is complete, you're dealing with a couple of problems. Number one, because it's under USGA rules. And
what does the USGA have to do with this?
The USGA is the United States Golf Association. There are certain rules that cover individuals on a private golf club. It's tricky because it's private property. You've got rules with regard to wearing cleats on the course. You have rules with regard to having spectators on the course. You can open up a can of worms. And that's what, as a law enforcement officer, I have to look at. And I have to be mindful of these things.
All right, we're talking with Vernon Dozier. He is a retired police inspector about these officers that would not take into custody a man who was finishing a round of golf at the Oak Hills Country Club. I don't know the particulars of this. I don't know whether these officers arrived, as I say, coincidental to this man. But keep in mind the crime that is being alleged here, and I say alleged, the murder of a woman, the 4 toddlers found crawling through her blood. The businessman has been arrested. He entered no plea. He was indicted by a federal grand jury and was taken into custody after finishing a round of golf at the Oak Hills Country Club. This is the husband of this woman. You're telling me that the officers couldn't interrupt his round of golf?
Again, Phil, you are missing a couple of things here. I think it's not that the officers don't want to interrupt his round of golf, but you have United States Golf. You have the rules that we have to work under as law enforcement officers, number one. Number two, you have United States Golf Association rules. And number three, you have the club rules. The rules that we work under as law enforcement officers is that we are to subpoena the individual. We take the warrant for his arrest and issue that when the warrant is issued, and then we go and make the arrest. United States Golf Association has its rules with regard to non-club members. And the club itself has its rules with regard to going out onto the course without cleats on, no spectators on the course. Obviously, you are involved in going out onto a course where there are a number of people playing a round of golf. You cannot interfere with the people on the green. You can't interfere with people on the tee box. Okay.
So, in other words, if the police officer is going to arrest a guy who is out on the golf course, but if a guy is putting out.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, all right, if I'm a police officer, I go with you out onto a golf course to arrest a guy.
Well, again, you have to be mindful of the club rules.
Okay, well, let's say I'm wearing cleats. I go out on the course to bust this guy, and there are people putting.
Well, with any private club or any private rule, you have to observe the rules of the club. So you wait for the individual to putt out, and then you can proceed with your arrest. But again, and for people who are not familiar with golf, putting out means for them to finish that particular hole. But you have to understand, as a law enforcement officer, and I'm working under the aegis of the United States government or any municipality or any county government, that when I go to make an arrest at a private golf club, that I have to be mindful not only of the laws of the United States of America, the state and county that I am charged to uphold, but we are dealing with a very high-ranking government body in the United States Golf Association. And that
the USGA is a government organization.
That is correct, yes. And it is a bureaucracy that can be very sticky. Now, this is the federal government bureau that deals with golf and the playing of golf. And like any other federal bureau, you have to keep these people happy.
All right, we're talking with Vernon Dozier. He is a retired law enforcement officer, a retired police inspector. And this story in San Antonio, this man is charged with murdering his wife. The officers went out to arrest him after a grand jury indictment was handed down. And he was taken into custody after finishing a round of golf at the Oak Hills Country Club. I just saw that story and asked myself, well, did the officers make this arrest coincidental to him ending his round of golf, or is there something that keeps them from arresting him while he's playing golf? And Officer Dozier, retired Officer Dozier here, is telling me that you're dealing with not only the state law and county law, you're also dealing with the USGA rules and regulations as a government body, and then the private club rules having to do with spectators on the course, whether or not you're wearing cleats, etc. It's interesting, and I personally think that when you're dealing with a crime as serious as murder, I would give a police officer the go-ahead to walk onto the course even if somebody's putting. But that's just my call, and I'm not a police officer. Our number is 1-800-449-8686, 1-800-449-8686. Can you go onto a golf course and arrest a guy in the middle of his round, or do you have to wait for him to putt out, is basically what we're talking with Officer Dozier about. 1-800-449-8686, Phil Hendrie Show. Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686. Stories from San Antonio, where a Texas businessman was ordered held without bond today on charges he conspired to arrange the 97 slaying of his ex-wife in Florida. Alan Blackthorne entered a no plea today in his appearance before a U.S. magistrate. He could be sentenced to death if convicted of conspiracy to use interstate commerce in a murder for hire. Blackthorne was indicted by a federal grand jury on Tuesday, and then this interesting piece from the news story. He was taken into custody after finishing a round of golf at the Oak Hills Country Club, according to his lawyer. This crime this man is alleged to have committed, and we have on the line Vernon Dozier, who is a retired police inspector. This guy, the crime that the man is alleged to have committed is murder. It's a serious crime. Why didn't the officers just go onto the course and arrest him?
Well, again, Phil, we don't know whether or not the officers showed up as he was ending his round of golf or not, but if they had showed up while he was still playing golf, they do have to take into consideration golf etiquette, as well as the rules of the club. The rules have changed over the years. Interestingly enough, they wanted cleats on the course. Now they don't want cleats on the course, but you can wear street shoes out there.
All right, let's go to Concord on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Hi, Phil.
Yes.
I'm a 26-year-old male. I'm a USGA member, and I've got a little problem with this gentleman saying that the USGA is a government body. The USGA is a non-profit organization for the betterment of golf in general.
Well, that's true.
Yes, and
right,
I don't see
they are charged with with promoting the sport and also facilitating interaction between the playing public and the game of golf itself.
Sure, but you made it sound like the officers were almost fearing the hand of the USGA, which is totally ridiculous.
Well, I don't think you can. You have a lot of things you've got to understand. You have the local municipality, you have USGA rules and regulations, and you do have the golf club rules and regulations.
I personally don't think the USGA rules and regulations hold anything over an alleged murderer.
Well,
I mean,
you heard the story. The officers
etiquette.
were waiting to take him into custody after finishing a round of golf. They have to be mindful of USGA rules. Look in the handbook.
I've got the rules handbook, and there's nothing that says that police officers cannot arrest an alleged murderer on a golf course.
Well, then, my friend, then why did they wait?
Why did they wait? I don't know.
Sir.
That's something that you can't. You're
what about
speculating worse than anybody else.
Wait a second. You know as well as I do that you can't go out onto a course in street shoes. Is that correct?
That is correct if you're playing. I don't think it necessarily holds true for law enforcement.
What about spectators?
Spectators, you can go on a golf course.
No, you cannot. You know
I went to the U.S. Open.
Wait a second. But this is not a public event. This is a private round of golf. No spectators are allowed.
Wait a minute. These guys aren't spectators. They're cops who are going to make an arrest for murder.
They are police officers, yes, Phil, who are going to make an arrest for a murder, but they also have the rules of the club to deal with. You can't go running across a golf course, while people are hitting up, while people are in the tee box. It's just not done.
I personally would stop playing golf if I saw an officer walking across a fairway.
All right, thanks for your call. And
thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Here is North Hills on the Phil Hendrie Show.
Good morning. How you doing, Mr. Hendrie?
Good morning.
Sir, the thing is this guy's saying that there's some kind of golf registration or regulation that prohibits officers from entering the course during a course of golf. Let me tell you,
we have a news story here. The officers waited till the guy finished his round of golf, and that's for obvious reasons. If he hasn't put out, if there's people in the tee box.
The reasons isn't as obvious as you think, sir, and I don't mean to call you a liar or anything, but the fact is that this man, they entered the course at a later time. They waited for him to finish his golf. Could be for safety reasons. They could believe that it'd be safer for the public to take him into custody as he's getting into his car in a parking lot, away from other spectators, away from other people that might become victims, in the event he pulls out a gun and then you have a crossfire situation. The fact that they took him into custody...
Well, that's true. No, I'm not denying that, but you also recognize that you do have club rules as to wearing that. You recognize that, correct?
No, I don't.
What?
I recognize one thing, the penal code. The penal code 187 murder, it means that I can take you into custody. I don't care where you are. I'll go after you. There's nothing...
Wait a second. So you're going to tell me that you're going to chase a fugitive across a golf course. You're going to be running across fairways while somebody's trying to hit up. You're going to be running across greens while someone's trying to putt out. Is that
That's what you're paid to do.
Excuse me, but the USGA rules, but here's where we get the USGA rules, Phil, and this is what I was mentioning to you. You can't run across.
USGA has no precedence over a murder case.
Hold on for a minute. The USGA states you cannot make undue noise on a putting green with someone. Well, sir, you can laugh if you want.
Yeah, but the man's making a good point. Okay, he's a murder suspect. If I'm standing there,
let me put it to you this way: if a suspect is in an airplane, you got to wait until it lands. Is that correct?
No, so that's something totally different.
Wait a second. Are you telling me that don't you have to wait till the plane lands?
No, you don't have to, but according to federal aviation rules, you can't discharge your firearm in a plane for obvious reasons.
Yeah,
but we're not talking about a plane where we're worried about decompression or anything.
The plane ride would be less pleasant, to put it mildly, for the people inside. Same thing with this, okay?
Express decompression.
What we're talking about here, both of you, are you a police officer, sir? The gentleman in North Hills, yeah.
Yes, sir, I am.
All right. And you're retired, Mr. Dozier.
You're going to disturb the other passengers if you fire a weapon in an airplane. You're going to disturb the other
passengers. Is what you're going to do.
You better believe it, my friend.
Well, hold on for a minute. I want to make a point. Guy's wanted for murder. He's wanted for murder. They've handed down an indictment. Why can't a police officer go onto a golf course and make the arrest, regardless of whether somebody's still putting?
Because USGA regulations state you cannot make noise on a golf green.
USGA regulations don't have no precedence over a murder case.
Have no precedence.
You're talking about if you're going across state lines, I can go across state lines to get you for...
Are you county?
In my county?
Yeah.
No, I'm at Los Angeles Police Department.
Okay, I think maybe you're county. Go ahead.
Well,
you can't go.
A person can, if they're fleeing, or if that person has a felony warrant for them, I can go anywhere, anytime, and get that person, provided I can identify that person.
All right, so you're telling me with a straight face that a guy is hitting up, okay? He's one to the green. Wait a minute, he's one to the green on a par 5.
Yeah. Okay.
And he's hitting up, and you're going to mess his shot up?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to mess his shot up.
Get out of here. Thank you for your call. Get out of here. You're telling me you're going to mess that guy's shot up? He's one to the green on a par 5, and there's a murderer running away. Come on. Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686. 1-800-449-8688.
Добрый день. Спасибо, что вы выбрали компанию Phil Hendrie Air. Наш полет будет проходить на высоте 300 тысяч фит. И еще Ватика.
Hey, Phil Hendrie Show here, 1-800-449-8686. And the story I'm talking about, this Texas businessman ordered held without bond on charges he conspired to arrange for the slaying of his wife. And his name is, by the way, Belush, James Belush. Mrs. Belush was killed 6 weeks after she, her husband James, and the children moved to Florida from San Antonio. Mrs. Belush had two older daughters with her ex-husband in addition to the quadruplets. In any event, this man was arrested on the charge of a conspiracy to use interstate commerce in a murder, and he was arrested after a round of golf at the Oak Hills Country Club. On the line, Vernon Dozier, a retired police inspector, who claimed, and I asked the question, why can't they just go out onto the golf course and arrest and execute a warrant for murder, an arrest warrant for murder, and basically Vernon is saying you have to take into consideration the fact that there are certain club rules prohibiting wingtips on a golf course. Let me ask you this. If the officers had worn cleats?
If the officers have spike shoes in the car, certainly they can change their shoes before executing the arrest. But that is generally not the case, and I would question the Texas law enforcement authority in that choice.
In what way?
In the fact that they sent officers to a private golf club and did not send them with adequate footwear so that they could change their shoes before they went out onto the course to arrest him.
Well, in this case, they didn't, though.
That's correct, because they were wearing street shoes.
All right, here's Burbank on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'd like to ask the retired police officer two questions. One is, the golf course is so private or more private than one's own individual home. First question. Next question is, what if that person arranges for a private jet out of the golf course and takes off to a remote country? what is he going to do?
Well, obviously he's a fugitive from justice at that point, and we handed over to the United States Marshals to execute an arrest warrant.
So private rules are superior to the public or criminal rules.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all, but there has always been. You have to understand that in our country, golf is very important. USGA.
So what? It's nothing federal. It's private.
Well, that's you're absolutely correct, sir. But you have to understand that you're dealing with golfers who are putting out. If a guy, for instance, I'll give you an example. I go to a golf course and I want to arrest a serial murderer, which I did do, by the way, in my career. I had to wait because someone there was ready to par the last hole, and that would have meant a 63. That would have been a course record.
So somebody has a privilege of belonging to a club, has the superior loyalty or a different law as against an ordinary citizen who doesn't have a membership in a golf course. Is that what you're telling me?
No. Well, sir, you have to understand this guy was going to set a course record. You want me to go out and mess up his putt? Is that what you're telling me?
Private club has nothing to do with what a person has committed.
Well, that's true. He was a criminal. This guy was a serial murderer.
What was the guy guilty of that you were going to arrest?
He'd hacked up, I don't know how many people, like 30 or 40 people, and stuck them in suitcases.
And you're waiting for some guy to putt out who's going to set a course record?
Oh, of course. What? Do you play golf, sir?
No, I don't.
Well, then, of course, you don't understand.
That's a privilege. A class of people, superior class of people, well-off people have time to play, and that's a privilege they have.
Golf is played by many people in America. We have municipal courses and private courses, but you have to understand that this is a very important game to Americans, and you're telling me I'm going to walk all over some guy's line on let's say he's got a 30-foot putt for birdie.
Well, if such a person has committed something that he's not supposed to commit, or if he's suspected of committing, yes, he has to face it.
What country are you from, if I may ask, sir?
Does it matter?
Well, is golf big in your country? I don't know.
Of course it is.
India? Are you from India?
Absolutely.
Yeah. They got that guy, what's his name, Vijay Singh.
Yeah,
He's
right.
a hell of a golfer.
Yeah.
So you people I don't understand.
That has nothing to do with, in other words, as a citizen,
yes,
law-abiding citizen,
yes, sir,
my home is much more private to me than the golf club that I belong to.
Well, of course.
You think you'll wait for me at my home? You'll just burst in and get me. If you have to.
Well, it depends on the circumstance.
It doesn't matter.
Are you eating dinner?
If I have 10 guests around in my house, 20 guests around in my, do you respect it? You will not.
If you have a party going on and you have contacted us,
does the federal rule allow such a thing?
If you make contact with us and tell us that you're going to have a party and you would prefer that we execute the arrest after the last guest has gone home, yes. I'm not disturbing golfers at your house. I don't get what you're saying. Is there anybody golfing at your house?
I'm just making a parallel comparison.
Well, so there's people golfing at your house?
Well, it doesn't have to be golfing. It could be a private party, a celebration of a birthday, or a wedding, or something.
And have you contacted us to tell us that you're going to be having a birthday party?
Would you be allowing things like that? Other consequence of what you're telling me is that...
One thing you could be doing at your home, you could be playing Sega Golf, which is a computer golf game, in which case, of course, we would respect your right to that.
What about the other consequence? Like if it takes off from the golf course to a private place, to a remote country which doesn't have any connections at all, don't you think you complicated the issue?
Well, that would be a violation of the course rules for him to bring a private plane onto the golf course, in which course then he would have a problem not only with the federal government, but also with...
police officers are trained to take into consideration all those other than the federal rules. Is that
one of the beautiful things about America, sir, is that we do respect the private individual and try to cooperate with him as much as we can. If you're playing Sega Golf or you're having a birthday party, or even if you brought a private plane onto the golf course, we have to respect that.
What do you mean, bring a private plane? What are you talking about, a private plane onto the golf course?
The gentleman was saying, what if he flew away? I'm assuming that you're talking about an airplane.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's good luck.
I mean, it can happen, doesn't it? Can't it happen?
I went to arrest a guy on a golf course, and he took off in a private plane. I don't know what you're saying.
I mean, they're so rich enough to do
Well,
anything.
That's true, yes. They keep it. There is a golf course in Texas that has a private strip next to it, so it's possible, yes,
yeah,
sir.
I mean...
All right, thank you very much for your... Are you telling me that these guys...
Yeah, there's a course in San Antonio where they have a private airstrip right next to the golf course, so in case a guy wants to putt out and flee the federal authorities, he can do both, and it's worked out pretty good.
Albemarle, is it, sir?
Yes.
Yes, sir, you're on the air.
Yeah, I wanted to say, now, if I'm playing Nintendo, I mean, by myself, I'm in my room, and I've committed a crime. I've murdered my parents, right?
Yes, sir.
And I'm playing Nintendo. it doesn't matter what kind of game it was. You're telling me the police will not come into my room and arrest me. That's a lie, because I already got arrested for not showing up in court for a ticket, a speeding violation. And I was out building a fence out on my land. They arrested me right then.
Well, wait a second. You asked me about Nintendo.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what kind of game I'm playing or whatever I'm playing, or if I'm building a fence or whatever. They aren't going to wait.
No, it depends.
Your property building a fence, sir, is that it?
Yeah,
And you were arrested for what? Not showing up for, you had a warrant?
No, yeah, well, I had a warrant. See, my lawyer did not call my name out, and...
Yeah, sure, kid. Look, there are rules we have to follow.
Well, let's listen to what the guy said, okay?
Look, he's going to tell me a sob story or something. There are rules that we have to follow.
All right.
Okay, look, there are rules we have to follow, son. If you're in your room and you're playing Nintendo 64, correct? Okay, is that your hypothesis?
Yeah.
All right, and you're playing a golf game of some kind.
I don't...
Virtual reality golf. We will respect at least your score. I mean, how many holes have you played? You've got to be specific. You've got to be specific.
All right, now, if I was a cop and I had to arrest that guy, and he's making his putt or whatever, and I'm going to walk right past him. I don't care. I would walk right past him.
Yeah, and you'd be breaking the law. Stop breaking windows and stealing candy, and you got nothing to fear from. Are you a police officer? No,
I would go arrest that guy because he killed somebody. If he killed my mom, see, or if I was your brother-in-law and I killed your sister, you're telling me that you would not arrest me if I was...
No, I didn't say that. I would arrest you, but I would allow you to hit out. I'd allow you to complete your round of golf first. That's
you
U.S.
would. So
let's say, for instance...
It won't matter whenever I'm going to be in jail for the rest of my life, but I'll have a good score.
Well, yes. But
yeah, well, what if I suck?
Let's say...
What kind of sick person would go out there and do something like that? Let me put on a party.
If you're
let me kill my wife and let me go put on a party, or let's go play golf.
I'm just saying, son, that if you, if let's say, for instance, you're the police officer, and I killed your mother, okay? Are you telling me you're not going to let me finish putting out on the 18th hole?
Okay, I would not be able to be in that case because you killed my mother, because that's my family you killed. Somebody else would have to do it, but...
You wouldn't let me finish my round of golf, is that what you're saying?
No, I'd be out on top of the golf course with my SKS, filling you full of bullets. Okay?
Well, I would be against the law.
Well...
Okay.
I'm not the cop that has to arrest you.
All right. Listen, thank you very much for your call. I think you're missing the point of what the guy...
No, I heard what he was saying, and I'm telling him we got rules. So, you have to understand something. There are murder warrants, and then there is a Texas press, okay? There's a skins game, there's murder, there's all kinds of stuff in this world. I have to respect each and every one of them. Okay.
Are you telling... Hold on for a minute. So I'm guilty of butchering up a whole family by setting fire to their house, but I'm one skin away from winning a golf to the skins game?
Are you talking about the one on NBC?
Yeah, the one on NBC. Let's say it's the one on NBC. You're going to wait...
Because the USGA rules state, I hate to have to go through this again, USGA rules state, you got to let the guy putt out.
I know, and you can't wear street shoes out on a golf course. And you're telling me that the Texas authorities should have given their arresting officers golf cleats so they could go out?
Yes, otherwise they're not aerating the course. It doesn't matter if you're pitching in your backyard or you're in the Masters. I have to wait until you hole out.
Smithfield on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Hi. I have a comment for Mr. Dozier.
Yes, ma'am.
I would just like to know if, say someone's injured on the golf course, say someone has pulled a gun on a player, emergency personnel, rescue squad, comes to the golf course. Do they have to wait for everyone to finish putting out, or do they have to have cleats on before they can rush on to the golf course to save this person?
Well, you know what my answer is going to be. What are you asking me for?
No, I want to know what your answer is, because what's the difference? This guy has gone and murdered people. He could be out there killing more people.
Alleged. A man's innocent until innocent until proven guilty.
Okay. All right, but still, you're saying the golf association rules are
United States
interrupt
United
a
States
golf game.
United
you cannot
States
go on to a golf course.
No, unless you have
cleats.
cleats. Yeah, you have to wear cleats.
Okay, so what's the difference? Emergency personnel, they're not allowed to interrupt a golf game?
Well, look, we're talking about a crime that's 2 years old. This woman was murdered 2 years ago. What are you talking about?
I'm asking you the question.
You're going to make me send officers out to arrest this guy on a 2-year-old murder rap when this guy is about ready to sink a 30-foot putt?
What are you talking? Do you belong to this golf course?
I beg your pardon?
Do you belong to this golf course, this country club?
No, man. I wish I did. No, man.
It seems like you're just trying to keep peace with this country club.
You're talking about an injured person is not allegedly injured, so it doesn't apply. We're talking about...
It does apply. Those rules are crock. They can't get on the golf course because they don't have the cleats and they can't interrupt.
Wait a minute. Is this person who's injured, he's alleged to have been injured, or is he injured? I don't understand your question.
Someone is.
What do you mean alleged to have?
There's someone that's been hurt.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Allegedly, yeah, sure.
Right.
Okay, so they call 911.
All right. If he's allegedly injured.
What do you mean allegedly hurt?
Proper shoes on. Someone's cutting out.
Ma'am, do you know that millions of dollars worth of damage are done to American golf courses every year because people are not wearing the
People who? Buddy.
You know, you live in a fantasy land, lady.
You are a joke to be even a police officer.
I follow the rules.
You're more worried about a golf game than arresting a criminal.
I follow the rules and the laws of the United States of America, ma'am. That is what I'm charged to do, and I have
you
to.
You are also to uphold this and protect.
He's an alleged criminal on a 2-year-old rap, a 2-year-old beef.
Look, get back to my original question.
Yeah, you said he was allegedly injured. I don't know about that. If he's really injured, yes, I'm going to do everything I can to help that person.
They're going to be able to get out there no matter what they have on.
But the USGA rules state that you must remain silent in the tee box while a player is hitting up, okay?
So that you're running to a guy who is hurt, Mr. Dozier, and you come up to a tee box, and the person is getting ready to hit. You stop?
You have to stop and be quiet, yeah.
So somebody's bleeding to death, and you're stopping and you're being quiet for that person to hit.
Well, you say it like it's a terrible thing. I mean, improper footwear destroys thousands of golf courses every year. That and divots. Ha, ha, ha. Laugh. Go ahead and laugh. Jesus, you bitch.
You're ridiculous.
Yeah, you're ridiculous.
Oh, my God, Mr. Dozier. How long were you a police officer?
I was a police officer for 30 years, ma'am. I've retired. I'm in security consultant business now. And you need to learn your laws, lady.
She needs to learn her laws. You're going to stop. Thank you for your call. You're going to stop and wait for a guy to putt out. And the Texas law enforcement, hey, if only those cats had been wearing cleats, they could have gone out and popped the guy. You know what, Mr. Dozier, one thing you're missing, nowadays, most golf courses don't want you to wear cleats. 1-800-449-8686. 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendrie Show. Phil Hendrie here, 1-800-449-8686. Palm Beach, Florida, a little 9-year-old boy. Sometimes stories appear, and I always know that these stories hop up in the news and pop up in front of our faces because they want us to get all angry over the fact that a little kid was mistreated, or the rules are unfair, or how crazy are we with zero tolerance, or whatever. And here's one. I heard this thing, and personally, I just reacted this way. You know what? If you got a rule, you got to follow the rule. This little 9-year-old boy was handcuffed by a cop who spotted him riding his bicycle without a helmet after officials say the deputy told him to wear one. Palm Beach County Sheriff officials say the incident captured on videotape Saturday does not warrant an internal investigation. The video taken Saturday by a private investigator working on an unrelated case shows the deputy searching through the boy's backpack and pockets while the handcuffed child sits on the cement. The boy is also pushed down on the ground twice as he tries to stand. Yeah? What's wrong with that? You think I'm kidding? I'm not. I don't care if he's 9. The kid, hey, look, maybe it's because I'm a new stepfather, and I get off on stories like this. Yeah, it's fun to hear about a 9-year-old kid getting pushed down onto the cement. But the fact is, the rule is you got to wear a helmet, right? Now, the cops apparently told the boy, or they had told the boy once to walk his bike home and get a helmet, which the law here in the state of Florida, I should say, requires for cyclists 16 and under. He later spotted the kid still riding without the headgear. He said the boy did a U-turn and sped away, and the cop gave chase. Deputy catched up to him, held him because he didn't know what the circumstances were. Now he started thinking maybe the bike was stolen. So they start checking out stuff, why the kid didn't got his helmet on, et cetera, et cetera. Naturally, the next thing you want to do when you're an adult, especially like me, I bet you this cop's got stepkids. You want to push the kid face down on the cement and handcuff him. Good for you, man. I mean, you got to teach him that the rules are there to be followed, not to be broken. And if you break the rules, then you have to suffer the consequences. It's like the kid that brings a little plastic knife to school to cut his apple, and the rule says you can't bring knives to school. That's what the rule says. You can't bring no knife to a school. Get it? Well, he only brought it to cut the apple, and well, it's fine, you know, it's too bad. Don't give him a knife to cut his apple. Don't give him an apple, or teach him how to eat an apple without cutting it up. Let me ask you a question. Growing up, did you have to cut up an apple before you ate it, Schaefer? You did? Jesus. Pretty weird, if you ask me. Any guy got to cut an apple up before he eats it. What's with these people that quarter up their apples before they eat them? Just eat the apple. You know, they give the kid the knife to quarter up his little apple when he's at school. A, can't give him a knife. No knives allowed at school. B, teach the kid to be a man and eat the apple like a man. Quarter the freaking thing up. Same thing with those rules at school. Zero tolerance. Hey, it's the way it is. And you can easily step around all of these problems by following the rules. And what's up with people that cut up bananas? Boy, that, you know, you talk about a law having to be, passed. Slicing up a banana on cereal gives me the creeps. Guy takes a banana, a little slice up the slices on the cereal. I could never get with that. I tried it as a kid a couple of times because they would, you're cutting your damn finger is what you're doing. No, they used to have it on the box. You'd look at the box when you were a kid, and it showed the cornflakes with bananas on top. I thought, oh, what the hell? I guess that's what you're supposed to do. So I'd get out the banana, I'd cut it up. I didn't dig it. It was funky. You peel the banana, you eat it. What, you got a problem with a big, long, hard thing going in your mouth? You're afraid who's going to be looking at you? Just eat the banana. Cutting up bananas, way, way out of line. Same thing goes with apples. Got to eat them things straight. And if the law says you can't bring a knife to school, you don't. And if you got to wear a helmet, you got to wear a helmet. And all of these news stories, I'm getting, I'm very aware of what you guys are trying to do. You try to tug on my heartstrings. You try to yank my emotional chain and say, well, this is outrageous the way they're treating our children. And, hey, it's fine with me. You got to understand. Nothing this copper did hurt this kid. He's going to wear a stinking helmet from here on out, A, B, and C. I'm a stepdad. These are stories that I live for. God, it's another, you know what? One more way to torture the kids. Cutting up a banana. By the way, PhilHenryShow.com. We got the best of the Phil Hendrie Show, 99 CDs. Communism is neat. PhilHenryShow.com. Log on. Friday night, we're going to have our big radiothon. 3 hours where you can buy that stinking thing for $23.50. Phil Hendrie Show.